Hi guys, welcome to the Happy Belly interview series where I introduce you to various experts in digestive health, wellness, and people who help you to change habits into healthier ones. And today I have one of my friends with me, a woman who is a yoga instructor and also a yoga practitioner. She helps women to eliminate their struggles with digestion and weight by helping them center, be grounded, and more balanced. Fern also does regular retreats, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Writes lots of articles, and in general has been an incredible friend for me and very supportive for the book launch. So today I wanted to pick Fern's brain about what she does personally to stay healthy and to keep her belly happy. So, Fern, tell us a little bit about what you do, what it means for you to have a happy belly.
Sure. Thank you for the very nice introduction, Nadya. I have gone through a lot of health conditions, and through that, I found what it really means to have a happy belly. And it hasn't been a easy definition for me because one time I'll think it's happy, and there's always something new to learn. So my background, I started practicing yoga about 4 or 5 years ago. I was going through a difficult time with work, and I was very stressed. And I came to the practice of yoga for stress relief. And then I found that I was coming to my mat and noticing all these conditions that I was having in my belly and in my body. I was noticing that that's not normal, that feeling gross and heavy and constipated and foggy, that wasn't normal. That shouldn't be happening in my body. So through that, I took the initiative to seek out holistic health modalities such as acupuncture, chiropractic, nutrition, all of these modalities that I wasn't finding previously. Doctors were just giving me pills to try to make this condition go away. Little did I know I was eating the wrong foods, and I was eating at the wrong times, not eating mindfully, all these different things that they seem so intuitive now, but they weren't at the time. So yoga helped me find that, and then I wanted to give back and help people in the same way that yoga helped me. So I did my 200-hour teacher training. I completed that, and now I teach about 5 or 6 classes a week. And I also educate people on holistic health and wellness and having a healthy lifestyle, what that really means, and how to overcome conditions that I overcame, such as Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, and candida. And as I keep learning about new conditions and new symptoms in my own body, I love to learn more so I can give back and help people, because I think that as traumatic and as challenging as these conditions are, they're great learning experiences. They're helping me get in touch with my own body so I can in turn help other people do the same.
So. Yeah, that's really cool. So one of the biggest steps for you was recognizing that whatever you're feeling was not normal. And
Yes.
I think that's the first step, and that's a very challenging because sometimes we kind of get very accustomed to the way we feel, and it hurts to recognize that there's so many steps that need to be taken to remedy the condition. So that switch between feeling heavy, feeling constipated, being sluggish, to exploring and feeling eventually lighter and healthier probably helped you to understand the importance of having a healthy digestion.
Yes.
What differences do you notice since you started changing your eating routine?
The first and the happiest thing is regular elimination. I remember as a child, I would go, I know this is a lot of information, but I would go 5 days without going to the bathroom, 5, 6, 7 days. Even through college, I'd go on vacations with my girlfriends, and I'd have to bring a pack of X-Lax with me just to go because I was not regular. And now every morning it's like clockwork. I get out of bed, I have my lemon water, and I go. And it's the most, for people that are constipated for so long, I feel like it's the most gratifying experience to just every morning feel regular.
Yeah.
And then you don't go through your day feeling heavy. You feel vibrant and you feel light. And for me, that's part of my routine. It's non-negotiable. I wake up, I have my lemon water. I feel great. I feel energized. I don't need coffee. I don't need caffeine. It's just this new light that I had when people were like, oh, I go every day. I'm like, well, what's that like? And so, now I can wake up and do that and go to yoga class and not feel like I have this big rock in my belly. So that's the happiest. That's what a happy belly means for me. It's just feeling like my food is being processed. It's restoring my body. It's giving me the nutrients I need. And then I'm eliminating toxins correctly. I'm not holding on to things. I was so inflamed. Now I just feel like my body loves me back. So I'm eating the right.
Amazing. Yeah, that's an amazing feeling. And it's incredible that you actually personally feel the difference that a regular elimination in the morning can make, because I feel like so many people have forgotten the way it's supposed to be and the way it actually feels.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So what do you do day to day to keep your belly happy?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, I start off every morning with warm lemon water. I know that we've mentioned differences between lemon and lime. For me, lemon really helps me. I love that it's warming. And I do ginger tea every morning as well. So lemon water and then ginger tea. And throughout the day, I'm hydrating. It's so important. So lots of clean, purified water helps me to lubricate everything in my digestive tract. And I notice that if I don't hydrate enough during the day, then the next day, you feel a little bit off. So that's very important to me, is hydration. I do a lot of herbal teas, fennel, fenugreek, coriander. I make a lot of herbal tea blends myself too, which it's so easy. You just buy the herbs and the seeds. Really great. So that's something I do every day. Food combining is a huge thing for me. So I make sure that my meals, I'm not, putting two of the contradicting foods together. Because,
give us some examples.
Yeah. Okay. For example, I just started eating animal protein again, but there's something, you don't want to eat animal protein with fruit. For example, that's very bad for your digestion.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then fruit you want to always have before the meal, not after. People always say have fruit platters for dessert, and it's like, no, you can't do that. That's the fruit's not going to digest properly, and it's going to create a lot of discomfort in your belly. So those are two of my main ones. But the great thing about fruits and vegetables, you can combine those. Those are great. So smoothies, I'm on the go a lot. So what I've found the most challenging is, as a yoga instructor, my schedule is really nuts. Like I can have a 6:30 in the morning client, and then I might teach all the way up until 10 at night. So my meals aren't very consistent, which is the biggest challenge for me right now, but also something I've learned is that I need to be really thoughtful and plan ahead, make my smoothies, have as many sit-down meals as I can. And when I have those meals, to really be mindful. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned, is that when I gulp down my food, number one, I'm not noticing how good it is, and I'm not really letting those nutrients absorb. I'm gulping them. So we need to chew. We need to be grateful and thankful. And that all plays into our digestion, because when we're just inhaling food, the first step of digestion is in the mouth with saliva and breaking down the enzymes. So if we're not doing that, we're not getting those benefits. So that's also something very important that I try to do every day, is be mindful of how I'm eating, when I'm eating, and what I'm eating.
That's really cool. I love all the points. So let's get a little bit more specific in terms of foods. So somebody is just starting out, they feel inflamed, they feel constipated, their body really wants some easy, simple foods to digest. Something that's not going to take up too much energy. What would you recommend, or what would you do personally? Like one day, for example, you traveled and then your digestion is off. What foods you would choose?
So the most important thing is things that are easy to digest, as you mentioned, and that won't take the body all this extra energy to process. So what I love to do after I've had even just a trip, any traveling, a hard night out, green juice is my favorite. Green juice, green smoothies, love those. But in the winter, especially too, you want things that are warming and also very easy for digestion. Lots of spices to stimulate the circulation. Khichdi is my favorite thing. I do Ayurvedic khichdi cleanses every winter, where I just make a big pot of khichdi with coriander, turmeric, all the spices. You can buy these spice packets from Banyan.
Yeah.
You're probably familiar with those. I love them. I just dump them right in there with.
Okay, we'll just put it right below the video, guys, so you can get
Yeah,
the Banyan packets with
they're
kitchery and
amazing.
spices.
And
Yeah.
you just buy these yellow split mung dal beans, and the yellow beans are the easiest to digest. So they're great. And I pair that with either a little bit of brown rice or quinoa. It really depends on how some people are not, the digestion of grains might not be as easy. So just be really careful on what grains you're choosing. Brown rice is particularly easy for me, so I usually do brown rice. And you can add vegetables as well, zucchini, squash, carrots, potatoes, really your own preference. So that's easy, and you make a huge pot of it. So, yeah.
I love that. So on the other side, if everything is going super well, you're eating your kitchery, you're eating your soups and smoothies, and then I guess you're out with friends. What foods you would for surely avoid because you know that get your belly unhappy?
Okay, things I definitely avoid. I avoid gluten at all costs. I know that that was one of the things that caused me the leaky gut that I currently am working through now. Gluten, I avoid dairy. I avoid soy for thyroid reasons as well. So those just off the bat. And then when I look at a menu, I look at things that I follow the food combining rules. And then I also look at things that I know are safe for me at a restaurant because I do have so many food intolerances and allergies.
Give us some examples.
The basic things, steamed vegetables.
Okay.
So easy. Steamed vegetables, a nice salad that doesn't have dressing. I'll just have olive oil on the side. This is really funny. I carry hemp seeds and sea salt with me when I go to restaurants. That way I can just ask for an avocado, if anything, and I can put that on top. So going to dinner with me is a very difficult thing, but I make it fun. Like I'll carry these little things with me that I know my belly will be happy. I'll be getting my protein in. And then just choosing sources of, if I'm at a restaurant that has fish or chicken or beef, just choosing whatever is the highest quality that I can get, and also something that I know won't interact with my food intolerances. Yeah. So that's just very important. And to ask questions. I feel people at restaurants have been so helpful. You're nice about it, and they don't want to get you sick. So the biggest thing is just being confident in asking what you can have and just explaining your situation. It's so important because if you're scared and afraid to ask, then you'll have a really uncomfortable time at that meal. And you really want to enjoy the people that you're with and not be so concerned about being there and about getting sick. Just really being part of that situation and enjoying it, being present.
Yeah, and I think having some stuff with you is also one of the habits that we over time establish, and it's a matter of not feeling bad about it, not feeling like you're restricting. It's more of okay, I'm helping my body, and because of that, because I treat my body really nicely, because I care about how I feel, because I want to feel good the next morning after that dinner, it's perfectly fine. Like I always have tea bags with me. And sometimes I will have hemp seeds as well, especially if I'm traveling. Half of my suitcase is food.
Yeah, same. I travel. I sometimes bring my NutriBullet with me when I travel. That way I can at least, if I don't know there's fresh fruit or fresh vegetables, I can at least put like a green blend and have some protein powder or something to start my day. So yeah, it's so important to when you're traveling. That's a huge thing that I love to touch on with my clients is to really have this emergency pack with you, that if you're going somewhere, even a friend's house, and you don't know what food is going to be there, the worst thing is getting stuck eating something that you don't want to eat, and that's going to make your belly uncomfortable.
So. Yeah, and I 100% agree with you, because I think a lot of women have that fear if I'm going to be so difficult and like nobody's going to want to be going out with me. But in reality, you're doing what you can to support yourself. So having those snacks, looking at the menu in advance, it's kind of like creating a support system to make sure that the chance of failure is really, really low.
Yeah, and what I found too is that people become really inspired by you doing that, and they start to do it too.
Yeah,
which is
well,
really...
there are two ways. They can either get really angry or they can get inspired.
Yeah, my everyone's been curious. They're like, what are those seeds? What are you putting on your salad? And then it sparks a conversation, and people start to want to take control of their own health too. And I've had a lot of girlfriends after it's taken time for them too, but
Yeah.
eventually they'll ask and they'll say, okay, how do I do this? How do I go to a restaurant and what do I bring? And it's really great when you can support each other and be okay with being a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a really empowering thing to feel okay.
Great. So, Fern, if somebody is in New York and they want to take a yoga class with you, or
Mm-hmm.
if somebody is looking into a retreat, where can they find more information about you?
Absolutely. So my website is yogawithfern.com. And the retreats that I lead, we're leading one in Puerto Rico this February, and we're looking in the next year to do Bahamas, Costa Rica, New York. That's at blissoutretreats.com. And we also do special events in New York City and Washington, D.C., and all over. So, yeah, you can catch all the information on that website as well. And hopefully I see you in class or I see you somewhere exotic.
Perfect. Thank you, Fern, so much for being with us. And guys, make sure to download 2 free chapters from Happy Belly Guide right below the video and watch all other amazing Happy Belly interview series. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Nadya.